Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Crypto Insider channel. I am the Crypto Insider, back with another cryptocurrency video for you, recording from Austin, Texas. I apologize for the lack of videos over the past 2 days. I took a small day trip to the wonderful border city of Eagle Pass, Texas, and was down there for a night, so I guess I could have taken my laptop and all the stuff with me and done it there. It just would have been a pain. So I said, you know what? We'll just let the market do what it does for a day or two, and then we'll get back on track. In any case, since we were gone, we had like 54, 55 subscribers. What you're seeing on the screen before you is the donation to @GoodXRP that we make for each new subscriber to the channel. We do donate a small amount of XRP, and it helps them get their mission accomplished. It helps us get our subscriber count up, and it helps you get notified of my terribly exciting videos. So win-win-win. Triple win situation. You never find that anywhere. All right. Let me also say that I am not a financial person. You know all the disclaimers. Do your own research and all that stuff. I'm not selling investment advices or products or anything. Okay, so let's jump into the prices of everything and where we're at after these bloody sell-offs. We're going to refresh Live Coin Watch. We'll check Bitcoin dominance as creeping up there. It's creeped up almost 1% over the last week or two, so slowly but surely it's creeping up. We did break that $9,400 mark, so now Bitcoin is standing at 93.93. I think I saw it at 93.50 something earlier. So very, very odd stuff is happening in the price market. We're definitely on a decline with most of the stuff, and as goes Bitcoin, so goes everything else. You can see the charts are fairly closely Ethereum following Bitcoin. XRP not far off at all. XRP is down 5.9% in the past 24 hours, down 0.36% in the past hour, and sitting at 25.6 cents. I'm not seeing any major winners over the last day. In fact, the numbers are all red for everything except quantum. So no matter where you were, you probably took a bit of a hit on the market over the last day or two. But that's okay. Yeah, I mean, the market goes up, the market goes down. We're waiting for utility to sort of catch up, and we're waiting for more institutional users of XRP. We're hoping a lot of that comes this year, and we're tracking the prices as they do come. It's a little more closely into the XRP price. Again, 25 and a half cents, a little more than that maybe for our current price. The moving averages are all down. Everything's red on the chart, so no real good news to bring you, but still up on 30 days, up 18% from where we were. We'll see how much further the drop goes. As these things plummet, and the same thing with the stock market. We've had a terrible thing with the stock market. Everything's down. It's not just crypto. The stock market's down. Gold prices are down. There was a little bump in gold prices yesterday, but it's down again, a couple of percent. So there's no real place where all the action is happening. So what's going to happen is all the prices descend. It's going to kick off the greed in people, and basically things are going to be seen as a buying opportunity, and you're going to start to see some green. It will happen. I can't predict to you exactly when it will happen, but I'm not sure what's putting all this pressure on the markets. The stock market is reacting a bit to the coronavirus probably, and the and Bernie Sanders' good polling numbers and wins of the Nevada caucus probably have put some downward pressure on the stock market as well. So kind of a perfect storm situation there for that big drop we saw yesterday, but I think I checked it earlier and it was a little more stable today than it was yesterday. So today's articles are mainly about XRP as digital gold. Uh, this article is a few days old, but it comes from the Econo-Times. Ripple CEO declares XRP shall emerge as the Amazon of crypto. And there's a subheading here, crypto similarity with the gold industry. According to Garlinghouse, both the XRP and Ripple are booming as of late. He specifies that though he does not focus on the temporary price actions, he explains further that Ripple does not go after quick paybacks, but rather views his crypto business from a long-standing perspective. Garlinghouse assuredly measured the crypto industry against the gold trades. Attempting to compare the two assets is a reach to some degree, since the idea here is that crypto will soon flourish into trillions of USD in terms of market value. That's almost the same manner as gold. But then again, the crypto industry has not even reached its 20th year yet. Well, I think the Bitcoin Satoshi's paper came out in 2009. Am I right? So if that's the case, then we're just over 11th year. It's still a young business. Be that as it may, crypto's actual market value totals in the billions, which is tiny. $1 billion is a tiny amount of money nowadays for a market, in my opinion. The crypto business is a challenge, but quite filled with excitement. Who wrote this article? I really don't like the way this article is worded. For the latest goings on, check for more content. But uh, crypto against gold is a weird thing, and I agree with that statement that attempting to compare the two assets is a reach to some degree. Certainly is, but it kind of correlates to another story that I had seen about a week ago, and I don't know if I covered this or not. I don't think I did. But from techmirror.info, digital gold label shifts as XRP correlation to gold outpaces Bitcoin. So the crux of the article is basically saying that XRP is more closely correlated to gold than Bitcoin, and they actually have a chart down here of the cryptos that most correlate with gold, and it looks like XRP is in the top spot, with Bitcoin being number 2 and Ethereum number 3, followed by Bitcoin Cash. And some things are actually negatively correlated with gold. That would be Bitcoin SV and the stablecoin Tether. So it's interesting to see that XRP is considered, or not, I wouldn't say considered as valuable as gold, but more closely correlated with the price action of gold. I just thought that was an interesting tidbit. I don't know exactly what it means or what it would mean to like a technical analysis, how they would, or if they would, incorporate that information into the stuff that they do. Because, the gold standard is the gold standard. This other article is interesting too to me. Coindesk.com by Bradley Kuhn. As U.S. stocks tumbled on Monday by the most in 6 months amid renewed coronavirus fears, Bitcoin barely budged, at least in terms of the notoriously volatile cryptocurrency's trading history. And so the article goes on to say, Bitcoin was down, but not down as much as stocks were. A 3% loss in Bitcoin can be made up in a few hours, whereas when a stock hits, 3 or 5% down, it can be a long time to recover a drop that's that large. One thing that I have talked about before on the channel is all the Chinese mining farms that run Bitcoin. Something like 60 to 70% of all Bitcoin is mined in China. And this is where the major impact to the coronavirus is. And what's an interesting thought exercise, in my opinion, and you can answer this in the comments if you know the answer to it. If there is a hit to Bitcoin mining in China, will that negatively or positively affect the price? from a fundamental standpoint, uh, mining mining is a necessity to keep the Bitcoin market alive, to produce new Bitcoins. However, from buying and selling standpoint, the less supply, the better. So if the mining takes a hit or some of these farms shut down, law of supply and demand says that the price should increase. But I don't know if the fear of the fundamental structure of Bitcoin failing to work would outpace that law of supply and demand. I'm not quite sure. Maybe some of you have a thought on that, but it'll be an interesting thing to see if it happens. Um, a lot of people are preparing for the halvening coming up in May. I don't know exactly which day in May it happens on, but we're only we're February, we're March, April, May. We're 2.5 months, 3 months out from the halvening. And a lot of people are predicting very large returns in Bitcoin as of the halvening. So, when the prices sink to these 9,300 levels, or 9,400 levels, it may be that, Bitcoin is a buy at these prices if you're of the school of thought that the price is going to increase after the halvening. Now, there are some technical analysis people that say no, the halvening's already built into the price of Bitcoin, and they're not expecting to see much of a bump after the halvening in the Bitcoin sector. I don't know. Bitcoin is probably one of my smallest positions. I've never liked the fundamentals of it. I have made some money in it. I just, when it was one of the only options when it first came out. But as I got more into the altcoins, my Bitcoin position went down quite a bit. Um, I think at some point, and I don't know when that is, Bitcoin's going to hit the wall. And when it does, it's going to be painful for a lot of people. In my opinion, that's just an opinion I hold, because at the end of the day, Bitcoin does not have the fundamentals to compete with even some of the shitcoins, what you would consider a shitcoin out there now. It's just got the branding. It's a lot of people aren't tuned into the crypto market, so Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that they've ever heard of. But as more utility comes out for these other coins, and people start to actually use them for things other than holding and waiting for people to come into the market behind you to prop up the price, when there's an actual real reason to custody these coins from a consumer standpoint, I believe that Bitcoin could see a pretty big drop as it loses out to the competition, because not only is supply and demand, a fundamental law of the economy, but competition is also there. And if all the other mousetraps are better than the Bitcoin mousetrap, it's only a matter of time. It can only hang on for so long, and I am not sure the stuff that they are doing to prop up Bitcoin I mean, they've got a Model T Ford. They're trying to put turbochargers on a Model T Ford to get it to be able to compete in the race. And there's a lot of efficiency lost. From what I've read, things like segregated witness and the Lightning Network do not perform well, or at least to the point that it makes it much more of a competitor than it otherwise would be. So, you can say those things all day, but Bitcoin has the best returns, the best price action of any crypto out there, and so you still have to keep that in the back of your mind. But I do think their Model T with the turbocharger and spoiler, whatever they've managed to rig onto it, is speeding towards a brick wall. At some point, it's going to run off the track, in my opinion. And we will probably see an alt season. I don't know exactly when. Again, I don't know the exact date. In any case, I hope you've enjoyed the video and that you're keeping your eye on the market and you're keeping a reasonable position and trying to keep your emotions out of it. Hold on, because what goes down must come up in this market, and what goes up must come down. I'm huddling to the bitter end when it comes to XRP at this point. If it goes down to 0.000.2 whatever per dollar, or if it's worth a tenth of a cent, I'm still going to be holding on to XRP, uh, you know, just in case. So, I'm not too worried about temporary price actions. I'm in the Brad Garlinghouse school of thought. But anyways, enjoy these videos and subscribe. We will donate to charity for you if you do subscribe. And we thank you for watching our content and listening to me bloviate, aimlessly ramble about cryptocurrency. We'll be back with another video tomorrow, I'm sure.